So that's how you know I'm allergic to these brokerage talks. It's a good one, right? Listen, I've been with Real for just around a year and a half, and prior to coming to Real, I was with eXp Realty. Both companies are great, both companies have really unique value propositions, but especially in 2025, 2026, and moving forward, there's definitely a lot that has shifted. eXp has released eXp 2.0, and Real has unlocked AI in a way that I've never seen implemented in any brokerage before. So if you're thinking about Real or eXp, this video is for you. Let's dissect everything that's going on with both these brokerages, what makes them unique, and ultimately which one you should ultimately go to. Let's talk about it. Let's start with the basics because both of these brokerages are absolutely fantastic. There's no question about them. Both are cloud-based, both have some of the best splits in the entire game, and both in essence have revolutionized a way of transactional opportunities for agents in a way that we've just simply never seen before. Real was founded in 2014 and they launched their cloud-based model in 2020. They're in all 4 provinces and all 50 states. They're also publicly traded on the NASDAQ, and they're known for 2 major things: working hard and being kind. eXp has started over 15 years ago, and they've absolutely pioneered the cloud-based model. They were the first cloud-based company. They're also in over 27 different companies, and yeah, they're also publicly traded with their ticker symbol being EXPI. They're known for a few major things. Number 1 is their global reach. Number 2 is having multiple different divisions, and number 3 is again pioneering the cloud-based model. This revolutionized the way that agents are getting paid, and they were the first ones to do it. Hats off to you, Glenny. So depending on what specifically you need from a brokerage, if you have international clients maybe all across the world, then eXp might be the better option for you. But stick around for a while because we're going to talk about the tech, we're going to talk about the splits, we're going to talk about the training and everything else with it. Both of these companies are fairly new into the entire game. When you think about Keller Williams, Remax, Coldwell, how long they've been alive for, these guys are still definitely younger. So let's talk about splits and fees, because when I decided to make that move over to Real, this was a reason why I decided to make that jump. You see, the Real split is 85-15, whereas eXp split is 80-20. Real also has an annual cap of $12,000 and eXp's is $16,000. Real has no monthly fees, whereas eXp has an $85 monthly fee. Post-cap, you're going to make 100% of your transaction and pay $285 per file. And if you're an elite agent, you're going to pay $130 or $129 to be more specific. There's also a one-time onboarding fee of $249, and there's an annual fee of $750, which comes out of your first 3 transactions. If you want to be, let's say, more critical, then yeah, this is our monthly fee, which gets cut in half, blah, 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 blah. But to be honest with you, one of the best things that I love about this is newer agents, they're not gonna pay, especially if they're not transacting. The only way that Real makes money is by agents making money. Again, eXp is the same way. You're gonna make 100% of your commission after you pay the $16,000 in cap, and their E&O insurance is also capped at $750 per transaction. They also have a one-time sign-up fee for $150, and again, they have that monthly fee for $85 a month. Listen, if you are a newer agent and you want the best bang for your buck opportunity, then Real's definitely going to be the move. But I'm not saying that in a way in which it's, hey, this is a cheaper option. There's also a lot of things that go into making all these decisions, because stick around, the experienced agents are also going to see why just going with the cloud-based model as a whole is the better option. I'm trying to be as Switzerlandic as I can, if that's the best way to put it. Obviously, I'm with a brokerage, but I want to give you all the facts, because the last thing that I want is for you to make a decision and not be happy with it. Then I clearly didn't do my job, and all I'm doing is looking handsome on camera. It sucks. You know, when we start talking about business divisions, this is where eXp 2.0, it really shines. eXp 2.0, I gotta give them hats off. They've definitely done a really great job of revamping the model, where pros go to grow. It's a great slogan, really catchy too. We have 27 different countries, residential, commercial, and a luxury division as well. Real has a residential and a luxury division, but we're working on our commercial division. Now, the one thing that we are hearing oftentimes is about the co-sponsorship model, right? That was a huge selling point for Real originally, which in essence said there's no tiers. I can explain that in a little bit. eXp kind of has the same thing, although it's a little wonky and it's not as seamless as Real's. I do think it's a really good idea, especially if you want to connect 2 different players and 2 different silos. It's a great option. So if you are just looking for global referrals, there's a $50 a month global referral option as well. And with Real just being a little bit on the younger side, we are seeing that they have more of a North American aspect of focus. It's really big when it comes to social media, and that's where we have the winning formula. In my personal opinion, we're seeing transactions happen from a branding perspective. It's no longer the days of I'm gonna cold sell you, I'm gonna hard sell you, and you're gonna buy a house. No, let's build brand, let's build the top of the funnel, and let's at the top of the funnel build the bottom. That's where I think Real is doing a really good job. I think we have a much better online presence than eXp, but with eXp's longevity, continuity, and overall just a higher amount of agents as a whole, I do think they have a larger international presence. Now, how much is this going to affect you? I don't know, right? I'm guessing most of you just do transactions here in North America, and that's your main focus. You're probably watching this video because number one, you want to figure out where you can take your team to grow. Number two, you want to figure out how you can do more transactions. And number three, you're a newer agent. You know the cloud-based model is the best model, but you're just not sure about which one of these two you should go for. This video is for you. I will say this, both of these companies have absolutely done an amazing job of giving equity. If you want someone to be happy, like my best friend Sharon says, give them equity. Give them a portion of the company where they know what they're fighting isn't just for a commission check, but it's an actual opportunity to grow. Look at what happened with Microsoft. Look at how many people there are millionaires. Look at what happened with Nvidia. These same things can happen with these companies. If we're talking about eXp and Real from a stock perspective, we're seeing Real stock grow a little bit higher compared to eXp. eXp stock also capped around $40, I think it was a few years ago now at this point. Real is much younger, clearly, but we are seeing that stock price continuously grow higher and higher. The one thing that I gotta give hats off to both these companies for is the wealth building opportunity. Because again, like I keep saying, agents here, they're making money. Real's stock agent purchase plan is 5 to 10% of the commission with up to a 30% bonus share. You're also granted stock when you hit your $12,000 cap. And when your sponsored agent or the agent that you bring to the company also sells, you get that stock as well, which is a 3-year vesting period. And if you're an elite agent, which is $6,000 after the post-cap fees or 10 $1 million transactions, guess what? You're gonna make an additional $24,000 in stock. The $16,000, which you're gonna get from the company stock, and an additional $8,000 for culture, which either you teach or you do volunteerism. Volunteerism. eXp 2.0 is also really good. You get $200 in stock when you complete your first transaction with them. You also get $400 in stock rent when you officially cap, $400 when you sponsor someone at the company and they close a deal. And you can set aside 5% of your commission to purchase stock as well, which you purchase at a 5% discount compared to the market rate. When you hit Icon, which is our elite at Real, you also get the money that you gave to the company in stock. Now, both of these companies have fantastic opportunities of actual ownership. The reason that I love Real a little bit more is because it's not just production, it's also culture. And I'm not saying eXp doesn't have good culture. In fact, eXp is a fantastic company, and if you go to eXp, you're lucky. I love the fact that Real doesn't just say, hey, we're a good company. They don't just say we want to actually be kind, they show it. From the cultural standpoint, from the fact that you're getting $8,000 to teach or to give back to the community, that's what got me, and that's one of the main reasons why I'm at Real, is the collaboration effort, where it's not just you're here and you're there, it's a mannerism of let's bring the entire company up. All tides raise all ships. I also know what you're thinking about is the revenue share aspect of it. Hey Gagan, how different is eXp's revenue share compared to Real's? Let's talk about that. Before we get to that though, my name is Gagan. I've been with both of these companies. I love both these companies. I've also brought over 125 agents to Real. I'm the fastest growing 22-year-old in Real's history. I don't just say that to brag, I say that because I'd love the opportunity to collaborate and talk with you about which one of these is the right fit. I'd love to show you exactly behind the scenes of Real and ultimately make sure we have that verdict intact. If you're thinking about potentially making a move, all of my information is in the description below. Let's book a confidential one-on-one call and we can just sort of discuss what specific opportunities exist here, what exists in your market, and hey, worst of all, you get to understand, number one, Gagan's really handsome on Zoom calls, and number two, Real's not the option for me. I want you to have all the information because the last thing that I want you to do is make an uninformed decision. If you're interested about Real, if you're thinking about joining Real, if you have any questions about Real, all of our contact information is down there. Let's chat about it. Now, let's talk about the revenue share. For both these companies, this is where it gets really freaking exciting. You see, revenue share has been life-changing for me. It's given me so much opportunity. But it is a little bit different here compared to there. At Real, it operationally goes from 5%, 4, 3, 2, 1, whereas eXp is counterintuitive and it translates the other way, with you making the most amount of money in the last tier. And the max amount of money that you can make is, again, those percentage. So $4,000, $3,200, $2,400, $1,600, and $800 respectively. You also unlock the tiers by bringing producing agents into your front line. So for example, I have my second tier unlocked. I'll put the image right here. On this second tier, you can see that I have 124 agents. However, I only have my second tier unlocked. Why is that the case? Because if you look at my front tier and you look at that 5 right there, I only have 5 people in my front qualifying tier that actually produced or sold a home. That's the difference between an FAQ, a frontline agent qualifier, or a frontline qualifying agent. It's the difference between just having someone there and having someone that's sold. With Real, you need 5 people to unlock your second tier. You need 15 to unlock your third tier, 20 to unlock your fourth tier, and 25 to unlock your fifth tier. And again, here's why I love this company so much. It's willable. Revenue share here is a marketable expense. I get to will this to my family. Whoa. I have elderly parents. I also have a sister. I have family members that I think about very often, which I lose sleep over thinking, am I doing right by them? And the fact that I get to will this, it's a game changer. It's a game changer. There's also a $175 annual admin fee, and 1.2% of the actual payout amount goes to the company so they can process it and things like that. eXp Realty has 7 different tiers, not just 5. But one is 17.5% of the commission dollar for a capping agent. Commercial agents also just overall make more money. It's $1,750 versus $1,400. The 2.2 model, or the newer model, is actually really strategically placed, but also a little wonky. Here's why. And again, if you're watching this with eXp, please correct me if I'm wrong, but there's something about you're not able to put the agent that you bring under someone else. So for example, let's use someone that's really well known, Mike Sherrard with eXp Realty. If Mike brings me, I can't bring someone and co-sponsor them with Mike. They have to go to Dan Beer's organization, or Kyle Whistle, or Adam Bailey. I think that's correct. Please do double check if I am misspoken, but that's also how that structurally works. It makes sense from a silo perspective. You want both the best opportunities that exist with eXp. You want this one and you want that one, then you can co-sponsor it. So overall, it makes sense. I like Real structure because I think it creates unlimited downline opportunities. Here's what I mean. Let's say I bring you to the company, okay? And you bring your friend, and they bring a friend, blah, blah, blah. Long story short, they're my 5th tier. I can't make any more money, but if that person brings someone else on, and we're just a really good fit, synergetically speaking, and I feel like I can help them, then I can co-sponsor them with my 5th tier. And because of that, I get the opportunity to have them in my 1st and my 5th tier. Now listen, if you're not into attraction and you're not into recruiting, as you like to say, then this isn't for you. Take everything out of this and kick it out the window, throw it out the window, whatever this saying is. Because we're gonna talk about education. There's a lot that we still gotta talk about from an educational perspective, from a learning perspective, and overall from a cultural perspective as well. Again, talking about the tech, one of the big things for me has been Reason. It's been a game changer, honestly. Reason's simplicity and overall use is like none other. On my screen here, you should be able to see the back end of Real, and you should be able to see the back end of my system and kind of what I'm talking about, and you get the whole idea behind it. It's simple. Marketing is right there. Real Academy is right there. All the education is right there. And then combine this with the fact that you get to use Chime, which generally costs around $500, but at Real, you get it for $40 a month. What? So both of these tools are absolutely great, and from a synergetic perspective and overall just a not difficult perspective, I think we have that in the back. You know, one of the big things with eXp that really got to me, especially when I was completing transactions, was I had to go to Skyslope here. I had to do this there, do that, do that. And it was definitely a lot. It was definitely a lot. But Real is a lot more seamless in that perspective. But Real is a lot more seamless. eXp also has eXp World, which that's where you go and talk with your brokers. You also have 11 hours of support all across different markets. You also have private meetings and business collaborations. Now they also have Sisu, which is an official partner of eXp. There's definitely multiple different integrations when it comes to eXp, and one of the big things for them, the big things that eXp uses is KV Core. Now I can do an entire separate video on KV Core versus Lofty, and if you want me to, just let me know in the comments below. But from just an overall simplicity standpoint, I think Real has it in the bag. Now this next one is where you can kind of differ both these companies, because I've been to eXp trainings and I've also been to Real trainings. The biggest difference that I've noticed is the tacticality. Like at Real, it's actionable stuff, and it's also people that have sold those things. At eXp, it's definitely a little bit more widespread, and you're getting it from this location here and that location here, and depending on what specific organization you're at, you're getting these guys, and if you want to go to here, you got to join this. So it's a little bit more complicated. However, both of these companies have insane education. Real has over 170 on-demand classes with over 20 to 30 live sessions every single week. And again, this is the big thing for me is it's focused on the entire company. It's collaboration over competition. But hey, that's not to say that eXp is a slacker either. They have over 80 hours of live training every single week. And both Real and eXp have a mentor program where you get to actually shadow someone that's sold houses that know what they're doing and ultimately be involved in that situation. We also partner with Success Magazine for coaching content. And there's different university level programs for experienced agents as well. Listen, both of these companies have amazing training. That's it. There's nothing else for me to say. They have amazing training. Let's talk about the final thing too, culture. We've heard a lot about Real's culture. We've heard a lot about eXp's culture. You can Google both these companies and you can figure out for yourself. Let me tell you what I see. I think Real's work hard, be kind motto isn't just a motto, I think it's the truth. See, and I'll give you a perfect example of it. A few years ago, there was something that happened in Canada in which I think the systems went down. Our CEO, Tamir Poleg, sat there and said, hey, I'm sorry. During the ring ceremony in New York, Tamir played with his kids. With all the multi-millionaires in that room, with the company's billion-dollar valuation, Tamir played with his kids. That's my CEO. That's my CEO. That's why I love this company. eXp also has a very similar motto. However, they're more focused on the self. Their motto is a personal development company disguised as a real estate company. And hey, it makes sense. They also have agent ownership mentality, where the agent actually owns the company, and again, they're globally recognized. They break the traditional value and they break the traditional model of specific location-based opportunity. No, eXp is all over. I will tell you this, from a brokerage standpoint, you might be wondering, well, how come Real isn't going to all these bigger markets, especially all across Europe and Asia? North America, the agents are paid the most amount of money compared to any other markets. That's right, you heard me. North America, agents make more money compared to any other place in the world. From a financial standpoint, it makes more sense for these brokerages to focus on the transactions that are happening in North America simply because they're making more money comparatively in comparison to other markets. And that should give you a very good synopsis of Real versus eXp. If you're curious about Real, if you're curious about any of these things, hit me up in the comments below. I've also got amazing friends of mine that are at eXp Realty. I can introduce you to them as well if eXp is the right fit for you, if Real is the right fit for you. If you have any questions, all of our information is down below. Let's chat soon. Listen, I actually did an entire video on who Real is not for. I'm gonna put that video right here. Watch it, and I'll see you soon. Peace.